In this short course, I'm going to take you through how you can get started with the Elementor Cloud website. The Elementor Cloud website is a new product whereby you are able to sign up and simply have your website taken care of by Elementor, from hosting to having WordPress and to having the page builder working on your website and also full support. So by watching this course, you learn how to get started using the Elementor Cloud, setting up your WordPress website, using the Elementor editor, and finally launching your website. One of the interesting features about the Elementor Cloud is that your website is going to be hosted on the Google Cloud platform. And at the same time, you'll have your website security taken care by Elementor, as well as having an SSL certificate for your website, having a CDN or a content delivery network that will enable that your website is served to your website visitors using the nearest servers to them. And that means that your website will be faster and easily accessed by your website visitors. Not only that, you'll also be able to point a custom domain to your Elementor Cloud website, meaning that you'll be able to purchase domains from different domain providers and point that domain to your Elementor Cloud website. So in case that is something you want to learn about or even more, this is the course for you to get started using the Elementor Cloud. Without any further ado, let's get started with lesson 1. To sign up for the Elementor Cloud, when you come over here to the Elementor website, simply go to the pricing option. And under the pricing option, you have two options over here, either to sign up for the cloud website or using the Elementor plugin, which has been the only option we have been having to build websites using Elementor. So in this case, we'll go with a cloud website. And here are all the features you get from having the cloud website license, or when you build your website using the Elementor Cloud. But simply to point out just a few, like I've already said, we get hosting, and that hosting is based on the Google Cloud hosting platform with a CDN inbuilt, an SSL certificate, 100 GBs of bandwidth, and able to connect a custom domain, just like I'm going to show you in this video. Secondly, we'll have the Elementor page builder pre-installed on our website. And that means that once we have our activated license for the cloud, we'll have the Elementor Pro plugin, including the Elementor free plugin. And then we'll be able to build websites using Elementor, just like you have been able to do before. Lastly, we'll have the CMS installed on our cloud infrastructure or on our cloud account for this website, specifically WordPress. And in this case, we'll be able to install themes, able to install plugins, and then we'll also have all the other possibilities we have been already having in WordPress before we moved into the cloud. What basically Elementor did was to get the whole of this WordPress infrastructure, build on top of it, and then have Elementor installed already, and then you are ready to go. Of course, there are many other features, but one that stood out for me is the support, because right now the live chat support came to WordPress through the Elementor Cloud option. And that means that you'll be able to reach out to the support agent or to someone on the support line to chat with them and let them know about your issue. In case they're unable to resolve that issue, you can create a temporary login or a user account so that the Elementor support team is able to access your website and help you throughout. So with that said, let's sign up for our cloud account. So to do that, you're going to come over here to buy now. Remember, this cloud license only costs $99 per year and per site. So in case you want to add like a subdomain, that means you'll have a different license. If you want to add like another website within your Elementor Cloud account, you are able to do that, but that will also be another license. So for every installation is another license. So what I'm going to do here is say buy now. You'll be able to create an account. If you have one already that exists, you simply just have to sign in, enter in your billing details, and then you'll be able to sign up and have access to your cloud account. Once your account is created, you'll get all the notifications via your email, and then you'll be able to actually get access to your cloud account. Once you come over here, what you're going to say is simply login. And in case you have an Elementor account already, because if you've been having Elementor Pro, you must be having an Elementor account. Even the free users have been having access to an Elementor account in case you wanted to use templates from Elementor. So in this case, what I have to do is simply log in. On installation, this is a generic name over here for your cloud license, or for your cloud installation specifically, you are able to change this name to a name of your preference, but once you change it, you will be unable to change that name going forward. And then if you want to access the hosting settings for your website that is on the cloud, you'll have to go to this option called Manage this website. And here is where you can make all the custom changes for your hosting account. This means that you'll be able to add custom domains to your cloud website. Remove the site lock. The site lock is a feature that Elementor added to the cloud website so that once you are building your website, the public is not able to access this website. And once you deactivate the site lock feature, that means that your website will be accessible to the public. Take this as the maintenance mode, what we've been doing before, or coming soon mode that we've been setting up on our website. But you have the option to allow a few of your website visitors to see what you're building by giving them a custom code or a pin that they will enter into the browser and be able to see what you're building. You'll also have access to the backup system for your website. That means that in case you want to restore from a previous backup, you'll be able to do that by simply clicking over here to restore, or you can export that backup for your website onto your computer. Then you'll also be able to upload that backup on another WordPress website. Then lastly, below here, you have the access to the chat support system that you can actually start and write to the support of Elementor and help you around in case you have any questions or in case you're facing any difficulties. Alright, so that is basically on the hosting side. Once you sign up for the cloud website, these are the features you'll be having access to in the Elementor cloud hosting system, whereby you have access to add a website name, add a custom domain name. But even before you get the custom domain name, you'll always have this domain over here that you can always share with your website visitors and they'll be able to access your website. Alright, so now if you have a questions on how you can actually add a custom domain to your hosting package, just like you see over here, let me show you how to do that in the next video. So how do you point a custom domain to your Elementor cloud website? Good, in this video, I'll show you exactly step by step on how you can point a custom domain or your own domain to your cloud website in Elementor. First of all, you have to be signed into your Elementor account, and under the websites that are seated on your Elementor account, these may be websites that are basically using an Elementor Pro license and you're hosting them by yourself, but also websites that are hosted by Elementor on the Elementor cloud. You simply just have to click over here if you have many websites, but since I only have one website, which is this over here, I'll come over here to this option called Manage this website. And this now takes us in the Elementor hosting space. This is where we can make changes to the website name. And by the way, this is only done once, so you cannot change the website name any further inside here in the hosting package. But inside WordPress, you can make changes to the website name. And here we can manage the domains by pointing to our own domain and a lot more other features right here. But in this case, we're interested in one, adding our custom domain to our website. You see, I already have a custom domain added to my Elementor website. But the question is, how did I do this? So you have to say add a custom domain, and you're provided by these details over here. They shouldn't scare you. This is an area code, which is basically an IP address that is pointing to your host. In this case, the Google Cloud hosting provided by Elementor. And then the CNAME, this is a name that basically is representing your hosting package on the Elementor hosting platform. So we need these two details so that we can use them on our domain provider website. And then we are able to point our domain name to our hosting provider. Because Elementor doesn't provide domain, so we have to buy a domain somewhere. There are many domain providers. There is HostGator, there is Namecheap, there is Emotion Hosting, there is Hostinger, a lot more. I personally, if I'm buying domains, I buy from Namecheap. So what I do, come over here to namecheap.com. I'll log into my Namecheap account, go to the dashboard, come straight to domains, and under domains, I'll select the domain name that I want to point to my Elementor hosting account. Down below here is my domain. I'll say manage the domain. So you're going to come down below here at the name servers option. By default, Namecheap is pointing to the Namecheap web hosting DNS. That means that since Namecheap provides hosting, that means that all websites that are hosted on Namecheap and the domain is provided by Namecheap, you select this option called the Namecheap web hosting DNS. But also, if you want to point to custom DNS, I mean, if you have your own name servers from other hosting providers like Hostinger or DigitalOcean or wherever, you can point to those IP addresses right over here. In this case, we are not going to use any of the two. We are going to use the Namecheap basic DNS. And once you have this option selected, just check over here and save. After saving, you're going to come to the advanced DNS option. And this is where the magic happens, because we are going to make use of our area code and the CNAME that is provided by Elementor. By default, you don't have these options, but since I've already pointed this domain to the Elementor hosting, I'm going to take you through basically what I had to do. Simply come over here and say add a new record, and you're going to say a record, and the a record is provided by Elementor over here. So what you'll have to do is copy, come to your advanced DNS option, and under the a record host, just add the @ option or the @ symbol, and then the IP address, you paste the IP address from Namecheap, and then set this and leave it to automatic. So, and then check the box. Once that is done, for me I'll cancel because I've already set it up over here in the first row, cancel. But for you, make sure that you check the option and save. Then down below here, add another record, and this is going to be the CNAME record, and the host is going to be www, 3 W's, and the target is this CNAME record provided by Elementor. Copy that and come over here and then paste your CNAME, leave this to automatic and check. In my case, I'm deleting because I already have the row added over here. Once you check, then that means that you've saved the changes and you'll have these 2 records added to your advanced DNS option. Once that is done, just wait for a couple of hours. It can be 2 hours, it can be 10 hours, it can be up to 72 hours as you're waiting for the DNS to propagate. Propagation, in simple terms, is the time that takes the domain naming system to reflect the changes made to your domain across the whole or the entire web. That way it may take from 10 minutes to up to 72 hours. So just be patient. Once it's finally resolved, you'll come back here to your Elementor website and you'll have the option to actually activate that domain and set it as primary over here, and then you are good to go. Now let's go into the next section of this course where actually the fun begins. We have WordPress pre-installed, be able to install themes of our preference, install plugins, and do all the other site settings for our WordPress website. See you in the next section. So after we have configured our custom domain or our own personal domain name to point to our Elementor cloud, now we want to look into how we can get started building our website using WordPress. To do that, we are going to simply go back here to all websites, and still under that license that you got for the Elementor cloud, you are able to say open this in WP dashboard. So when I click over there, that takes me to a new tab. Great. So now I'm taken straight to the WordPress admin dashboard. This is the dashboard that we love from WordPress. Nothing has changed, apart from a few things that actually Elementor has added. In this case, you realize we have something called the activity log. And this is basically a plugin that comes pre-installed on the Elementor cloud. And I will tell you why just in a while. So when we come over here to the settings option under general, remember I told you we cannot make changes to our website name in the Elementor cloud option once you make changes to it over here. But inside WordPress, under general settings, we can make changes to the site title or the name of our website. In this case, not the hosted package on the cloud license. So in this case, I can say the Go Academy. Okay, and I can make changes to the tagline, I can make changes to the administration email, make changes just like we've been to do it before. Here I'm going to say save changes. Great, now we have a new name for our website. If we are to preview this, we have our custom domain now pointing to our cloud license. So this is how our website looks like. And from here, we can take advantage from WordPress and Elementor to build our website up just like we have been doing before. So back into our general settings, I'll go straight to the permalink options. And here I can set the post name as the default URL system for our website. But you can as well leave it as plain text, the name and date, month and name, numeric, but I prefer the post name because this actually creates a perfect URL system or structure for our website. Make sure that you save changes. Now, under appearance, themes, we have the Hello theme pre-installed on our Elementor website, but that doesn't mean that we cannot use other themes. So in case you want to try out other themes, you can either use those from WordPress or you can simply say add a new theme. And here you can search over for a theme of your preference, say Astra theme, install and activate, or in this case, maybe I want the cadence. This can say install, Once installed, activate, and voila! We have our Addons theme installed and activated on our cloud website. Then again, what happens under the plugins area? Let's go to the plugins for now. You see we have 4 plugins pre-installed on our website. We have the Activity Log plugin, Elementor, Elementor Pro, and the Hello Dolly plugin. I'm sure you're familiar with the Elementor and the Elementor Pro plugins, but this specifically, the Activity Log plugin, is here to enable support, help you in the best way possible. In case you fall into issues, they'll use the Activity Log to track the changes that have been happening on your website. Then again, are you able to add your own plugins? Yes. To do that, come over here to plugins, add a new plugin, and I'm able to search and install a plugin I want. So for example, Premium Addons. Premium Addons is an extension of the Elementor page builder and brings you a lot more other features and possibilities to create websites using Elementor. Once it shows up over here, simply say install and activate, and there you go. So you are not limited by only using plugins that are pre-installed by Elementor, but you can also add third-party plugins from the WordPress repository. However, there are plugins that are not compatible with the Elementor cloud hosting, and I'll talk further about that towards the end of this course. Before I forget, how do we add menus to our website? By simply coming back here to Appearance, Menus, then we are able to create a menu for our website. So in this case, these are default custom links. I'm going to delete all of them. Delete, and I can rename my menu and say course menu. I can start adding items to my course menu. So for example, in case I want if I want to use pages, then that means I have to first create pages in my WordPress website. So let me come over here, first save changes. I'm going to come to pages and all pages. I don't have any pages right now, but I can still add pages just like we've been doing before in WordPress. I can say add a new page, name this as a home page. I'll publish, I'll disable the pre-publish notification, publish. I'll add a new page once again, so add a new page. So now when I come back to pages, I have all my 4 pages created. Now back to Appearance, Menus. I'm now able to add pages to my menu or my course menu. So I'll come over here and say View All. I'll add this, add to menu. Oh, this is a custom link, not a page, so I'll remove this and instead add the very last one, which is a page that we created, reposition it, and I can now select a display location for my menu. And that's all. We are done creating a menu for our WordPress website. So just like we've been doing this before in our initial WordPress installations without the Elementor cloud, we can do that inside the Elementor cloud without any hassle or bustle. Now let's go straight and look into how we can use the Elementor cloud to build a website using Elementor, the page builder itself. We are going to go back straight to our Elementor cloud website. And right over here, we have access to the Elementor editor. But still, even inside your WordPress dashboard, you have access to the pages. And you can select that you want to edit these pages with Elementor. Or you can simply go straight to Elementor, save templates, or even the theme builder, and get started building your Elementor website right straight inside here, the Elementor dashboard, just like we have been doing before. So first things first, we are going to come over here to the Elementor templates, and we're going to come to the kits library. And we're going to look up for a kit that we can simply import into our Elementor website. So education as a category. So in this case, I'm going to select this. So this is the kit, fully built by Elementor. And here I can say apply kit. Now this will apply on our website and say apply all and override any current settings. So it takes a few minutes to actually import this kit into my Elementor website. And here it shows me that it has imported one header, imported a footer, a 1404 error page, and a pop-up, which is one. and all these site settings, and also content, including 5 pages and 5 navigation items. Right, so I'm going to say close. This is how it looks like currently. So how are we going to actually make sure that our pages show up over here, including when someone goes to the navigation, they'll be able to actually see pages from the navigation section over right here. Let's go to the pages option. And you see now we have more pages. This is because we had already created our own pages in Elementor, and then we also imported another website that came with other pages. So what we are going to do is to delete the pages that we created. So these are actually the pages, the ones that don't have edit with Elementor, because we had not edited them with the Elementor page builder prior importation. So I'm going to close this, and close this. Actually, I'm checking them so I can delete. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Move to trash. So I'm going to go to my appearance, menus, and I am going to remove these pages, these items, sorry, because now they no longer exist. Great. So I'm going to view all here, and I'll select these pages which have been imported using our kit. So now you see we have the home page, the about page, contact. I can rearrange these. I can even rename this from subject to courses. And save the menu. So how do we make sure that this page over here, which is the home page, is actually the home page of our website? So to do that, we are going to come over here to settings, and there is an option called reading settings. And you see over here we have your home page display. We're going to set it as a static page, and that will be the page called home. Now I'll come back here to our website, and I'm going to go to the home page. Great. Now we have our website showing our homepage from the kit that has been imported. When I go to About, here is the About page. Courses, this was previously subjects. All our courses or the subjects are listed here. Let's look at the rates. And let's look at the contact page. Great. Now, how do you get started editing these sections using Elementor? Just like the normal we've been doing it in Elementor, when you come over here to, let me say, pages, all pages, let me open up my home page with the Elementor editor. So I'll open up in a new tab by Control or Command click. Great. Now I have access to my home page, and I can start making the necessary edits that I want. If, for example, I want to add like a background gradient here, so I can select the section, come to Style, add a background gradient. I'll update after setting up my gradient. I'll go to my home page. And right now you see that we have our background gradient showing up, which is this that we've just set up on our website. And of course you can make all the other edits and changes just like we have been previously able to do in Elementor. So in case you want to make changes to your global colors and styling, you simply come here to the hamburger icon, come to site settings, and now that will take you straight to the design system, the theme style, and all the other settings options right below here, like changing the site name, the site tagline, the site logo, and all that stuff. But ideally, that's how you can make changes to your design system, including the fonts and also the global colors. And obviously you can drag widgets from Elementor and add them to your editor, just like this over here, including those elements that are coming in the Pro version of Elementor. Let me see, for example, the hotspot widget. You can obviously make good use of all the widgets coming in Elementor. I'll delete those for now. But how about if someone wants to make changes to the header and footers or the other features that are coming in Elementor Pro, for example, the theme builder, including the archive pages, including the single pages. By coming straight to the theme builder, you have access to edit your header, to edit your footer, to edit your 4x4 pages, to create single posts, to create your archive pages, just like you already know how to do in the Elementor Pro version. By simply command clicking or control clicking, I'm taken straight to the editor for the header. And here I can select the navigation widget. I can change the menu that I want to point to my navigation. I can make changes to the logo. I can make changes to this button or the call to action button. For example, if I change the numbers to, let me say, 777 7575. Now you see the changes are already reflected. If I update, those changes will be as well reflected on my header on the active website. So, right, there they show up, the changes that I've added to my header. Great, the same you can do for the footer and all the other side parts for your WordPress website. Speaking about editing websites with Elementor, I want to mention that this option to create websites actually using the Elementor columns and sections is going to go away very soon from Elementor, because Elementor is implementing a new technology called the flexbox container, which will enable us to create pixel perfect websites in Elementor, and of course having so much more possibilities to actually create websites in your Elementor website. For example, before we could not add inner sections inside inner sections, but now we can actually add as many more containers inside one main container. And not only that, our websites will actually be generating lesser code and obviously make our websites load faster. Let's look into that briefly in the next video. As of making this video, the Elementor Flexbox container is in the alpha version, and that means that it is not yet fully rolled out, but you can access this feature when you go to the Elementor experiments. I've created a specific video on how you can activate this feature and how you can get started and take good use of the Elementor container. But briefly in this video, I'll show you exactly how to get this started and some of the benefits of actually using the Elementor container. So as it is currently, if you want to add a widget to an Elementor page, you have to have a section and then you have to have a column. But with the Elementor container, you simply drag that widget straight to the container itself without having the column. And the other feature is that before the widget width in the Elementor section and column format, it will take up the whole width of the column. But with the containers, the widget is inline. Before, to achieve this inline feature, we had to use the positioning feature, and then you have to make sure that the width is inline and all that stuff. But now by default, it's inline, or the widget is inline. Before, we are limited to only one inner section inside a column, but now we have unlimited nesting of columns or sections or containers inside existing containers, and now that is giving us more flexibility to create more unique websites. Besides the alignment with the flex start to the flex center to the flex end was also the anchor option. Before, to actually have your column clickable, you had to install an extra plugin or to write some lines of JavaScript so that you are able to make this column clickable. But now we have the anchor tag that enables us to actually make a column a clickable column. That means we're able to hyperlink our containers to different sections of our website or even outside our website. So as of now, to activate the Elementor container, you have to go back to your WordPress dashboard, come to Elementor, come straight to settings, and under experiments, Flexbox container, you're going to say activate and save changes. That means that we will no longer be able to use the columns and sections option. We'll only be using the containers. Let's go straight to our pages. In this case, I'm going to come to our home page. I'm going to say edit with Elementor. Since these pages were built using the sections and columns option, now when you click on that section, you have the option to say convert to container. But even when the Flexbox container is finally rolled out, you'll have the option to convert this, which I also don't advise. I repeat, But on the video I've linked up in the description of this specific video. So in case you want to add a container, you can simply say add, just like we've been adding sections, and then come here to the widgets and say drag a container. There now we have a container. Now we can add containers, more containers inside this container. So we have now 2 containers. We can add another container inside this container. Now we have 3 containers. We can add more other containers inside that container. You see now we have 3 containers inside the container, which we were actually unable to do before. So in case you want to convert your existing sections to containers, there are 2 options, one on the page level and one on the section level. So the one on the section level, which is this, by selecting your by selecting your section, you can say convert to container. Great. Now we have a container created out of this section. So this is now the container. The other option to convert these all sections to containers is by coming over here to settings and say convert to container, and now all these other sections will be converted to the containers. And a lot more other benefits of using containers that I've covered in a video I've linked right down this video. So make sure you check it out, because you'll get an understanding on how to get started using containers and make best use of them. Now that we've created our website using Elementor, let's look into how we can back up and restore our website that is hosted on the Elementor cloud. To back up and restore a website on the Elementor cloud, we'll be having to go back to our Elementor cloud. Going back to our cloud website or our cloud account, and open up that specific website where you want to create a backup by going to manage this website. And I'm going to scroll down below here, and you see I have the option called backups. So ideally Elementor creates backups automatically on your cloud website, and these are, for example, the already generated backups by Elementor every 24 hours. But how about if you want to create your own custom backup? To do that, you're going to come over here to this option saying create a new backup. So I'll create this backup and say manual cloud backup. I say create a new backup. Just after a couple of seconds, we have our backup created. At this time, we can export this backup. So by saying export feature, Elementor will send us a download link via email to be able to download the backup. So in case you want to restore a backup, for example, I want to restore to a previous version of this website. Let me show you. I'm going to say restore a backup. And here it tells me restore a backup. This action cannot be undone. Check these boxes, and I'm now going to restore this website to a previous backup. This was our previous website. Now let's look at the website that has been restored from the backup. So I'll reload. Here is the website that has been restored from the backup. Nothing has changed, all looks good. But how about if we want to restore back to our manual backup that we created? I'll go back to my account, manage this website. I come to backups, and then I will restore to the backup that we created manually. So I'll say yes. And now Elementor will start on the restoration process of this website. Great, looks like our website has been restored. Now let's go to our home page and let's look at the new website that has been restored for our manual backup. Our website looks great, just like the one before here, that we created a backup manually using the Elementor backup system, and this is what has been recovered. Nothing has changed, all looks great. So that's how simple and seamless the Elementor backup and restore system works in the Elementor cloud. Now let's go and look into how we can launch our website on the Elementor cloud so that anyone across the internet is able to access our website. See you in the next section. If you're not currently using the Elementor cloud, before we were actually having to set up a maintenance or coming soon page so that when a visitor comes to our website, we throw a template using Elementor to show them that, hey, this website is actually coming soon or still under maintenance. But now that has changed. If you're using the Elementor cloud, because Elementor is giving you the option to actually set a site log for your website, but also you are able to provide a specific code so that some visitors or some people you want to have access to the website can use that code to access the website. So this is how we've been doing it before. Under Elementor, we had to go to Tools, and then under Tools, we have the option to set up the maintenance mode, and here we are able to create a template using Elementor. Whenever someone comes and visits our website, they will be seeing that template that we choose over right here. If you want to see how to enable this option and creating templates for your coming soon or maintenance mode, I'm going to leave a tutorial right down in the description of this video. But since now we have the Elementor cloud, we even have an easier and better option to do that. So back inside our Elementor cloud website, you see right down here there is an option saying site lock is on. Let's look at how our website looks like for viewers or for people accessing this website that are not logged into the back end of the website. Open a private window. I'll paste my URL. And since site lock is on, I expect that I'm not able to see what is happening on this website. Voila! Sorry, this website is hidden right now. And this is what I've been meaning to say. In case someone out there is trying to access our website, they're not able to access it because it's having a site lock. But in case we want to give this person access to look at what we are building from the back end, I'll come back here to my Elementor account, and I'm going to say manage this website. I'm going to scroll down below here, and there is an option called site lock. So here there is a pin code, and that is a pin code that you'll be able to provide to your website visitors. Or in the case whereby you want some people to review or look at your works before the website is fully launched, this is the code you'll be providing them with to access the website. To view the code, simply click on the eye and you see the exact code, or you can simply copy over here. I'll come back to our private window. I'll paste my code and log in or have access to the site, and voila! I am not an admin, I'm not even logged into this website, but now I'm having the website because I've entered that site lock key. Now I'm able to review the site and what is being done at the back end of the website. How about if you are done creating your WordPress website and you want to launch it? So that means that you have to disable the site lock, and to disable the site lock, you'll have to simply check this option and say unlock site. That means that your website visitors and search engines will be able to crawl and see this website. So I'll simply say unlock site. Great. Now when I go back to my private window and I enter in my website name or my website domain, it's bringing back this login page because I have not cleared the cache. So I'll come over here and clear the browser cache. Great. Now I'm able to access my website without the pin code because my site lock is deactivated. Also make sure that you have the feature to let the search engines index your website in WordPress. So in this case, when I come back here to my WordPress dashboard, under settings, there is something called reading settings. Make sure that this option here is unchecked. You want to enable that search engines are able to crawl your website once it goes live. Then save changes. Now you've launched your website and it's live to be accessed by all website visitors on the internet, including search engines being able to crawl your website. In the next video, we're going to look into how we can add users or even edit existing users for our WordPress website that is on the Elementor cloud. So there are a couple of reasons as to why you would want to add or edit an existing user in your WordPress website. So for example, in case you want to give access to the support from Elementor to enable you figure out or mitigate issues on your WordPress website. But also you may want to add other users to your WordPress website, for example, editors, authors, or even contributors. Not only that, you may want to also edit existing user credentials. So how do you do that? To do that, we will go straight to our Elementor dashboard. You can simply say open up the WP dashboard or go straight to the Elementor dashboard and under the users option, go to all users. Here you will see that I have one user. This is the user that was generated once I created my website on the cloud. I'm actually having a funny username because it was automatically generated by Elementor Cloud System. So to edit this, I'm going to say edit. And I will come over here to the display name or first name. I'll say Hamza, last name Kwehangana, and I can choose a nickname, but I want to display name publicly as Hamza Kwehangana, and that's the email address. I can make changes to that, but I'll leave this on the default. And here I can say update. Now I have a cool display name, and obviously I can make also changes to the password. I can say set a new password, so set a password and update. I am going to log out myself, and I'm going straight to the wp-admin page. So website.com, domainname.com/wp-admin. Here is where I have to enter in my username or email. So in this case, I'm going to enter my email. And then I drop in the password. Now I've logged into my WordPress website using the newly generated credentials. That means the email and the password. Great. Now, how about if you want to add other users, still under the same option or feature or menu option down below here in WordPress, say add a new user. Simply enter in the user details so that the Elementor support can help you make some changes on your Elementor website. You can simply come over here and say username support@elementor.com, email, I'll use the same email, and first name, these are all optional, website is optional. So I'll make sure that I copy this password, because this is the password you're going to give to the Elementor support team to be able to log into your WordPress website using the email called support@elementor.com, and make sure that you give them the administrator roles. So say add a new role. Great, now we have 2 users on our WordPress website and they are all admins. So these are the account details you'll be able to provide to Elementor so that they're able to help you out your Elementor Cloud website. So now let's look into how you can add other websites to your Elementor Cloud account, and also how you can access support from Elementor. To do that, we are going to come straight here in our Elementor account, and right here we have the option to say create a cloud website, or you can say buy now. And straight over here, you are able to check out and have a new Elementor Cloud license. And if you want to access the Elementor support, you can click over here on the Elementor support. And you can either use the tutorials, you can either use the Elementor community, especially on Facebook, or you can find a solution. Alternatively, you can use the new feature that came to Elementor, which is the live support system, or which is the live chat system, by clicking over here, and then you're able to start a conversation with an Elementor support representative. This feature is available on the Elementor My Account platform, but also inside your WordPress and Elementor editor. Right over here, this is under WordPress. We are not even yet in the Elementor editor, but we have the option to start a conversation with the support team, or even when you access the Elementor editor, you still have access to this live support pop-up box. By starting a conversation, then you will be able to access an Elementor support agent to help you around with your issues or your WordPress website issues. Great, that's how you can add another license or another Elementor Cloud license to your existing Elementor account. Of course, you have to make another payment for any separate installation that you make. And also how you can access the support system from Elementor either via ticket or live support. In the next video, we're going to close up this course and also take you through some of the incompatible plugins that you shouldn't be using with the Elementor Cloud. Let's get there. Besides listing the features that come along in the Elementor Cloud, Elementor has actually put in some of the frequently asked questions or questions that may arise up in the process of you using the Elementor Cloud. And some of them have been actually answered right below here. For example, who the Elementor Cloud is for, what's included in the subscription. So in this case, built-in hosting from Google Cloud, a secure CDN, actually a free SSL certificate. You know, most hosts will actually charge you for an SSL certificate, but it's actually coming free in the Elementor Cloud, and you'll have 20 GBs of space and all these other features just like you see over here. Like for example, if you have a question, the difference between the Elementor plugin and also the Elementor Cloud website, all those questions have been answered over here. But one thing missing on this list is the question onto whether the Elementor Cloud is compatible with all the other plugins on the WordPress repository. Fortunately, it was answered somewhere in the help centers or in the docs from Elementor. And if we are to look into some of the incompatible plugins, most of them are migration plugins and other competitor page builders like Visual Composer, like Divi. Talk about another page builder besides Gutenberg. It wouldn't be a good idea to use two page builders on the same website at the same time. So here are the list of the incompatible plugins, and I think Elementor is still adding more. Some of your favorite like WP Migrate, and my favorite, the WP Vivid Backup and Restore, all-in-one import, SiteGround Migrate, Revolution Slider. That doesn't mean that you cannot export your website from Elementor or that you cannot import your existing website into Elementor. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope by going through this short course on the Elementor Cloud, you've gotten an idea on how you can take advantage of the Elementor Cloud hosting, the benefits, the features, the downsides, and all that around. In case you like this video and this tutorial and this course, make sure that you give it a like. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Have a good time and goodbye.